a question in mind, something you just said, David, the impact of having a tenured pastor. Um, how do you see in churches that, not just churches we work with, but just in your experience overall, what are some of the key differences between, someone who is emerging in a church, just been maybe in that congregation 2 or 3 years, over and against someone like Cross City who's been there for 25 or 27 years? What are some of the nuances between that pastoral leadership, tenure wise?
Yeah, it's a loaded question. I can go a mile deep with that one. We work with a lot of older established churches that are led by their founding pastors or grown by those pastors. So again, their DNA is all over it. That presents two problems though. For the thought leading pastor, they will position that church in a way that um, will set them up for a good, healthy succession. In other words, they won't straddle that next generation of leader with the old pastor's vision debt, if that makes sense. Pastors is it's great if they are forward thinking enough to say, yeah, I don't want to transfer 6 or 8 or $10 million of debt of my vision to the next pastor in 5 years. So they got to be a little bit more of a thought leader to think through, hey, what does this potentially look like? And so those that are forward thinking, they get it, they know it. We work with a fantastic church in Plymouth, Michigan, where one of the pastors basically hallmarks says, hey, this has been my vision for the last 20 plus years. I'm one day going to pass the mantle, and I sure don't want to straddle that new leader with my debt or my vision. The other upside of that, though, Tim, is working with the more tenured givers at the church. If you have a tenured pastor or a pastor moving into an emeritus type role, huge credibility as you start to talk with your 60 plus year olds about a planned gift. A planned gift was basically just a major gift. It's a gift that would basically come from the asset side of their giving versus from their income side of their giving. And that is huge when you have that person in a role that a trustworthy role for 2+ decades, and then they're forward thinking enough to think, hey, this is probably not my church, it's God's church, and potentially even a different leader is going to be stepping in at some point. So how do we position it for best success down the road?